Good morning, Laguna Woods, and welcome to Inspiration for Today. Again, my name is Jeff Fell. A good friend, Pastor Tom Atkins, is here also, and we are going to continue our discussion in the five purposes of God out of the Great Commandment and the Great Commission in Matthew. And this morning, Pastor Tom is going to share a little bit about his knowledge, his main function, or one of his main functions at Saddleback Laguna Woods is the purpose of ministry and helping people serve and finding their shape. And so I'm going to turn it over to Tom to do the scripture, and we'll start our discussion. Here you go.
All right, so the purpose of ministry comes out of the Great Commandment, which is Matthew 22, verses 37 through 40, which says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." And so that's what we do when we serve others, is we are loving our neighbors as ourself. And in a lot of churches, you see the pastoral staff and the church staff do most of the work of the ministry. And at Saddleback, we don't think that's what God had in mind. And so we believe that every member's a minister, and that every member of the church should be loving God and loving others. And we think that when pastors do all the work of the ministry, we're selfish, because it's a really great blessing to serve other people. And when we let others serve with us and train them how to serve, then we're sharing the blessing and the joys of ministry. And when we do that, we also get to reach more people, because if the pastors and pastoral staff has to do all the ministry service, then there's other things we don't have time to do. So with empowering our church and getting as many people involved as we can in ministry, we get to serve more. We get to share the fun and the joy that we have in ministry, and I think that's very important. And as a church, we don't tell you where you need to serve. We believe in what we call shape. And God gifted each of us differently and uniquely to serve in a different way. And what SHAPE stands for is spiritual gifts, heart, abilities, personality, and experience. And so based on our spiritual gifts, based on our heart, what we have a passion to do, what we love to do, if you were going to ask me, what would I enjoy doing? My response to that would be my heart. Our abilities, what we've learned in work, what we've learned in how we've spent our lives. Our personality, just the way we're wired, and our experiences. So when we look at those, then we see how we should serve in ways that will be rewarding, that would be fun, and that we'd want to continue to do it. Any thoughts, Jeff, at this point?
Yeah, it's amazing as you're sharing that. It was such an important part. And one thing, I'm not sure if you mentioned it yet, but there actually are people, volunteer members of the church that are kind of gifted in helping us figure out what our shape is. Yeah. And we call them shape guides, right? Still call them shape guides. And so these are actually members of our church that have kind of had a little bit of training to help us go through. And I remember when I first joined the church and was so grateful for God's family, what was going on, I wanted to serve, but I really had no clue what my spiritual gifts were. I had no clue what I should be doing. I just wanted to serve. And so it was wonderful to come in and meet with somebody, and they kind of help you give some guidance. And the one thing I was encouraged to do is just try something. Just to try. And one of the things I just love people. And so one of the things they had me do is I was a greeter. And greeters are so important, because as people come into the church, and some of us, as we first come to church, we're not sure what's going on here, and do I feel comfortable? But I remember when I first came to Saddleback, somebody just greeted me with a big smile and a handshake and kind of welcomed me, and that made a big difference. So I started as a greeter, and I love that ministry.
Yeah. And so what we encourage people to do is take Class 301, and we offer that every few months. And in 301, you will discover your shape for ministry. We'll look at each one of the shape items, and you'll look at yourself. You'll fill out a little self-assessment, and you'll see where God may be leading you to serve. And then, as Jeff said, after taking Class 301, you'll meet with one of our shape guides, and we'll take what you love doing and what you're shaped to do, and we'll put that together with needs that we have in church so that you'll serve in a fulfilling and a fun way. And we have a lot of opportunities, a lot of different ministries to serve in. Sunday mornings, we have greeters, we have people making coffee.
It's real important. The coffee is very important.
We can't have church without coffee. And and we have people that help us set up every Sunday morning. I don't know whether you realize it or not, but every Sunday morning a trailer pulls up in front of Clubhouse 5, and that has our church in it. And we unload it, we set it up, and we take it down when we're done. So it's fun. It's a great time of fellowship, and we have 20, 25 people there every Sunday morning help us. We have a grief share ministry where we help people process through the loss of a loved one. There's serving opportunities there. We have our assisted living church service ministry where we take church services out into 50 plus senior assisted living communities around Orange County. And we actually do a complete church service for them, but we've put it together in a way that's very easy. Anyone can do it, and that's a great blessing to serve. And a number of other ministries. Saddleback Church, we have like 375 ministries that people can serve in.
It's funny, something important that Tom was kind of alluding to is that we get to serve together kind of as a big team, and that's something that I know that I was longing for. I know in the business place, I was in the corporate world for many years, and I had the blessing of working and whatever else. But there's something unique about being able to serve side by side with like-minded people that love God and want to serve, and it's just wonderful. It's just a great experience to serve together. Something else I thought was important to share, and Tom mentioned the word class, and I don't think we've talked about class too much, but that's kind of a cool thing. Something else, we have this discipleship process, and so it's basically our teaching or intentional process to help us kind of grow. And so when we first find the church and we're excited to be part of the church and we want to serve and grow, we have an intentional kind of pathway for us to kind of go. I go to the 101 class or the fellowship class, and then I can go to 201, which is the discipleship class, and then as Tom mentioned, 301, the serving or ministry class, and there's 401, which is the evangelism or sharing God's love, and so or mission, they might be called that sometimes. But there's this great kind of process, so at any time kind of where you are, and if you want to do next steps, they're there for you. If you don't have to, there's nobody saying that you must go through all this, but if you're happy where you're at, that's great. You just want to know that you're loved and part of the family, but also know that there are next steps that you can take.
And being able to serve in ministry is a great blessing. It's a great joy. I know those of you at Laguna Woods that are currently doing it love it. We get your feedback, and we really appreciate the service that you're doing, and it is blessing and showing God's love to other people. So it's a great opportunity. It's a lot of fun. And we just encourage you to find your shape and to look at the opportunities and find the right one for you.
That's a great point. One of the things, I think the author, second half, was it Patrick Morley, wrote a book. It was like a men's ministry book, but he talks about going from success to significance. And so, in life, a lot of times we had different levels of success, or whether it was in business or raising a wonderful family or whatever else. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop. The word retirement is not in the Bible. And so, which is kind of exciting, which that means that what Tom is saying, even at, that age where a lot of people may be retiring, there's still some wonderful things to get involved with and get revitalized and excited about. It's so great to see our congregations are active and they're excited and they're having fun, and I think that's exactly what God intended for us to do, and we do it together in love. So anyways, so grateful, my good friend, and actually this is a blessing. I get to serve with my good friend Tom, serving side by side and having fun doing it. But Laguna Woods, we love you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Please join us. We'll put email addresses. That's probably something I should mention. We have an email address if you want to reach us and contact us. They'll be definitely at the end of the video. We love you. Have a great day.